guys, I am in front of the Greek Parliament in Athens. So the Greek Parliament is the equivalent of the White House of Greece. It's here in Athens, the capital. And yesterday, there was another protest with Molotov-cocktails and a bit of a riot. So just yesterday, November 9th, tourists were told not to go downtown Athens, the center, near the parliament, near Times Square, because there's going to be a protest. And in Greek fashion, they often turn violent. I wanted to come to find out why protesters end up throwing Molotov cocktails and having these street battles, with bombs, with petrol bombs, smoke bombs, at almost every single riot, and also what their demands are and what they want changed. As far as we know, these protests have been ongoing for years now. They sprout out every few months, and it's asking for higher wages, better working conditions.
Βρισκόμαστε εδώ και αγωνιζόμαστε προκειμένου να δοθούν λύσεις.
Τα μέτρα που παίρνει η κυβέρνηση προσπαθεί ουσιαστικά να μας κλείσει το στόμα, μας ρίχνει κάποια ψίχουλα για να μας κλείσει το στόμα, αλλά δεν πρόκειται, γιατί με αυτά τα μέτρα δεν βγαίνουμε.
So the exact spot I'm standing here today, just yesterday, there was a protest which turned into a riot, which turned into Molotov cocktails and some explosions right here. I don't know if I'm just cursed, because it seems like in every city or every country that I go to ends up in some kind of war. Is this where the protest was yesterday? What? What happened here yesterday? Was there a protest? Huh?
The police.
Yeah, but what was the protest about?
I don't know.
Oh. And why did they have some problems with the police?
Because they now have policemen in universities and stuff.
But is it common to have these riots in Athens?
Yes. It's quite common, yeah.
I think everyone's watching the changing the guards. I'm gonna walk across the street to the main square and see if I can ask some local Greeks about what they think about the riots, the inflation, and what is going on here in Greece. Here we are at Times Square, one of the main squares in Athens. Can I ask you, do you know what happened here yesterday? I saw they said it was dangerous to come.
Έγινε εδώ χθες για την απεργία. Yesterday here there was people stopped working for one day yesterday to shout to the government that we want our salary be much more than that's now. So they tried to protest yesterday here in front of Sidama, and we expect the results.
Yes. And do you think that the government will raise the salary or no?
I believe that they took the message.
Okay.
And we're hoping to get a very good result from all this.
Is it about just the minimum salary or all salaries?
All the salaries.
Okay. And is it because inflation is high now? Like everything is expensive? Yes. So what is like a average salary now in Greece or Athens?
You won't speak with numbers.
Yeah, in euros, like what's the average salary? Like 1,000 euros a month, 2,000 or?
It's about the profession you do. So it's different in any profession, but I can speak for the education.
Yes.
We need a raise in our salaries.
Okay. I understand.
Speak in numbers.
Okay. I understand.
Europeans have been taking to the streets, demanding that their governments do something about the rising consumer prices. Most of those involved in the protests are workers, demanding higher pay as they say inflation is leading to a cost of living crisis. On Wednesday, Greek workers took to the streets demanding higher wages to combat the surging inflation. The strike saw a massive disruption of public transport, including flights and ferry services. Thousands of Greek protesters marched to Parliament in Athens as part of a nationwide action.
I can't get through the month. It's difficult to make it to the end of the month. Making it to the end of the month means your wages will last you until the last day of the month. For me, my wages have already been spent after the first 10 days.
We can no longer bear the high costs. We can no longer bear the poverty. We can no longer bear the exhaustion. We are here. We are fighting so that we can find the answers.
So, but my main question is, if they raise the salary for everybody, then inflation will grow and everything becomes more expensive also.
It is expensive right
Already?
now.
Yes, okay.
I think that if the prices are high and after that
Yes.
protests, we are going to have a very serious problem.
The protests come despite the government having raised the minimum wage twice since January and pledging more wage hikes in 2023. It's also promised more handouts for pensioners to soften the blow of the current crisis. The latest protest also follows a string of walkouts in Europe in the past month, including in Spain, France, the UK, and Belgium.
Yes, I understand it's getting worse and worse for normal people, but my question is, if they raise the salary and then prices go up again, even more, then what is the solution?
We'll stop working again.
Okay.
Maybe for more days than one.
Okay. I wish you luck. Best wishes.
Thank you very much.
So I'll try to find and talk to a couple more people, but from the people I've actually spoken to, both on video and off, it's been very similar, where the cost of living are very high in Athens, comparatively. Like if you come here as an American, it's cheap, guys. Like it's probably one of the cheapest places in Europe, especially this beautiful, with this much history that we can come, with amazing food. So for us, it's a really good deal. But for local Greeks, it's expensive. The local salary, from what I've heard, is anywhere between 550 to 650 euros per month, which now is literally $650 a month. It's really not very high. And apartment prices, rent, everything has gone up, food prices have gone up. So it's not easy for a lot of people. But at the same time, I think most protests don't work out because they want higher salaries, not realizing the government first doesn't have the money, and secondly, if they just give everyone more money or raise salaries, it creates more inflation. So let's try to find a solution and talk to more people. Yesterday there was some protests here. Sorry, but I don't. You don't want that? No. So I've been walking around and trying to get someone to talk about it, but either they didn't want to talk on camera, or I had a few people say yes, it's a big problem, but they didn't want to talk about it on camera. And a lot of people actually didn't know the word inflation. I know English isn't that strong of a language here, but everybody agrees that they want higher salaries and things are expensive. All right, guys, I've literally walked around for 40 minutes just trying to talk to people about the protests or inflation or, economics here. But to be honest, it's not the place to do it. Most people are just not interested. A lot of them are happy to talk without the camera, but none of them want to be on video. And it is what it is. I'm gonna give up. I'm gonna head over to this shopping street. Here's some of the cops, the riot police, just in case. All right, guys, so I just spoke to those police officers over there for about 25 minutes. Really interesting guys. Unfortunately, they said I couldn't record any of it or film them, which I understand why. And yeah, basically what they were saying is there's always going to be riots for two reasons. There's some people that are called anarchists, where all they want is the feeling of just fucking things up. It's kind of just fun for them, even whether it solves a solution or not. And there's no penalty, so they can get arrested, but it's not like an actual crime to throw Molotov-cocktails or riot. Anarchism in Greece actually takes roots to very ancient Greece. It was actually a political movement during the 19th century. But in Athens itself and in modern Greece, it became very popular after the Polytechnic uprising. This was back in right after the Greek military junta, which lasted from 1967 to 1974, and it was credited to the anarchists for overthrowing or ending the military junta. But since then, they have mostly been seen as causes of damage, riots, and extreme nepotism. It's not like an actual crime to throw Molotov cocktails or riot. So it's a thrill for them in their life that's otherwise not going very well. And this way it allows them to put the blame, on society and the police, saying like, it's not my fault, my life's all messed up. So they get arrested, and then they basically get let out. They have to go to court after 2-3 days, and then they're out. So really nothing bad happens. There's no jail time. And I asked the police, I was like, how do you guys feel about kind of, everyone just hating you? And you're kind of like, I don't think they hate us. They understand we're just doing our job, and we understand their frustration. So we just kind of let it be. One of the officers spoke really good English and was like really plugged in with politics. And I asked him, like, what do the protesters want? What was the solution? And basically he said they want higher wages, but the government has been trying to figure out a solution and they can't figure something out. I don't know enough about Greek politics where if it's because it's just inefficient or there's corruption, or it could be because after their financial collapse in 2008, which was really, devastating, but also it was kind of their fault where they lied about their books before joining the EU, which is kind of what caused the financial collapse. They ended up selling a lot of the businesses to other countries. So now a lot of the money isn't even going back to Athens. I think this was the damage from yesterday, just right here on one of the main streets, and that's why there's so many cops today, even more than normal. So it looks like it was literally missing the windows as well. And this got destroyed. Wow. Oh my God. Almost every single street. This is insane, guys. Over here as well. This window here is damaged. Can I ask, did this happen yesterday? All the damage from the riots? No? Okay. Look at this, guys. Here's Zara. Completely smashed. So I was talking to another one of these cops, and he didn't want to be filmed. And he basically said, I have nothing to say to you. They don't want to make this problem
more exaggerated than it really is, because it probably encourages more riders and more people to do it because they know they can get away with it. I'll be honest, guys, I didn't find what I was looking for here at the Parliament. I was kind of hoping I'd get some better answers. But now I'm going to go to the History Museum, one of the top 3 museums in Athens, and I haven't been there yet, so let's go check it out. Just the next station over. It's crazy how many people wait in line to buy tickets when they can just use these machines. There are these machines, but they're old, and I think none of these take pay pass, so that's why there's this crazy line here. Is this the Louvre in Paris? No. Historical Museum in Athens. Guys, look how much history is here. Literally thousands of years behind me. This is University Academy of Athens, the 1800s. And here is the History Museum we're going to go into. It looks like today is graduation, maybe. Oh, oops, guys, I just realized this isn't the History Museum. This is also part of the university. The museum's across the street. All right, this is it, guys. Sorry I'm late. So I just got a ticket, and it was only €3, which is crazy. But I think in before November, it's more, yeah?
Yes.
Like in summer, it's €6?
No.
5 for?
After 1-2 months, €5.
Oh, it's going to go up. Okay. Thank you.
First to the old parliament, and after the glass door to the right. This exhibition, information.
Oh, that's nice. That's tricky. Look at that. Look at this. The ceiling is so beautiful. Welcome to Parliament. What about wages? What about salaries? Yes, we will increase salaries for everybody. These old paintings, cannonballs, and armor. And I was joking that this is the helmets that Putin is using now for the conscripts in Russia.
Так, перевіряємо касочку Аркістану на прочність. Що вона, коротше, скаже нам? Тримай. Легенько вдар спочатку. Хуя себе, блядь. Блядь, по твоєю... Це вообще пиздец, дивись, що у них, блядь. Я їбу, блядь. Якийсь силикон. Що, сука, силикон, ти, сука. Дерьмо собаче, блядь. Говно, блядь. Ну нахуй.
Let's say these giant busks are some of the coolest things here. They're huge as well. I think this was in front of a boat before. That's why he has this weird thing on his between his legs. Ford Ho. So here are some of the costumes that people used to wear in their kind of daily life and in festivals. It's always very fascinating to me how people would dress, but I wish they would show what people would wear in everyday life as well, because most of these are for weddings or for big events. I'd be so curious to know like how they actually look day to day, because they definitely wasn't wearing this every day. So we're here on the second floor. It's a beautiful view of what was down there. And you have some pretty interesting relics, old books, some art. And I would say most of the second floor is naval themed. It's interesting, the battles that they fought up there. So what's crazy is on the way to the toilets, you have all these old kind of paintings, but also it's like historical archives. I don't think we're supposed to open any of these, but I can imagine if you do, it's all this old cool stuff. It's like a whole nother kind of accidental exhibit, if you want to call it that. Like how these buildings looked from like year to year. There's little miniatures as well. Okay, so what did you think of the museum?
It was great. I enjoyed it.
Yeah? I thought it was pretty cool. It's pretty small. It's like maybe the third smallest one, third biggest one in Athens, but it's worth coming to.
Yes,
Especially if you like history. I liked all the tapestry, like what people were wearing. I liked all the weapons. It's just different. It's not as wow as the other ones. Because you've been through all of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, which one was your favorite?
Oh my god. I like this one, to be honest.
Why?
Because I like to see how people were dressed. I like those things. And you can learn the history.
Yeah. So, we'll definitely recommend it. And there's only €3, which is crazy. So it's going to go up to 5. It's still a very, very good deal. So, recommended. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers to Grace.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's another protest today. A small one today at least.